guys, welcome to my channel. On today's video I'm just going to be going over some tips and tricks to keep your makeup from melting in this hot summer heat. Stay tuned. So the first step you want to do is make sure that you cleanse your skin good and have on your serums and moisturizers and eye creams and sunscreen, especially if it's during the day. And then the next step, you want to make sure you have you a good primer. So these are some of my go-to primers. As you can see, I'm almost out of this. I just have a little bit left. But this is from drugstore to high-end brands. These are some really good primers. So the primer that I'm using today is the No Problem Prime Essence by Touch and Soul. And this is the primer that it's like a serum, so I'm just gonna apply it. I'm just gonna drop some in my hand, so I won't put too much on my face. And if you have really oily skin, this will still be a good primer for it. But if you have really oily skin and you want a mattifying primer, that would be a good way to go. So I know Becca have a mattifying primer. I don't know who else, but if you don't have a mattifying primer, this is another step that I do in the hot summer heats to prevent your makeup from melting off, is to go ahead and apply your setting powder, a translucent setting powder. So yeah, so that's another good tip, just to apply your translucent powder right after your primer. So the translucent setting powder I'm going to use is the Laura Mercier. I'm going to apply that with a damp beauty blender just to melt it on in my skin. I forgot to add that the eye primer that I use is from Urban Decay, and it's the Primer Potion. So you always want to add an eye primer as well, especially if you're using the eyeshadow. So I'm going to put a little of that on there and blend it out with my finger. Now time for the foundation. And with the foundation, what I usually do, I lightly apply it, because you know, in the hot summer months, you don't want your face to feel heavy and cakey. You want to keep everything cool. So I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in Butter Pecan. As y'all can tell, this is my go-to foundation because yeah, it's almost gone. I need more. I'm going to spritz my beauty blender with my Fix Plus. Now y'all see how you can still get a smooth foundation application by me applying the setting powder first on top of the primer, so you can still get a smooth foundation application, and it will help absorb those extra oils and sweat or whatever, you know, if you're outside sweating or whatever. This summer heat is something else, y'all, like I'm telling you. So it's very important to like go through the steps and like make sure you moisturizing, sunscreening, and priming your face. And then the step I just done with the setting powder, apply your setting powder before your foundation, and that will ensure that your makeup won't melt off. So I'm going to apply my concealers off camera and I'll be back. So the concealer I applied off camera was my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in Warm Sand. So now it's time to set the concealer. You also want to set the concealer and set the foundation that you put on top of the setting powder. So you're setting, foundation and set again. So I'm going to use my Laura Mercier setting powder again to set my concealer. I'm going to set the rest of my face with my Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in Matte Tan. Lightly brushing it. Now I'm going to contour. I'm just contouring with the powder, and of course y'all know what I like to contour with. My Black Radiance Pressed Powder in Ebony. Using my Luxie 512 small contouring brush. So I'm using my e.l.f. brow pencil in deep brown. Use my Elamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio palette. This is the medium tan one. So the color I'm gonna use is, I guess I use Toasted. Just gonna lightly apply that. I say lightly, not put too much. So the highlight I'm going to use is from our Wander Beauty Wondrous Dust to Dawn palette, and I'm going to use City Lights. So after you applied, after you went through all your steps applying your foundations and your powders and everything, the last step that you want to do is to set it again. I know you use setting powder, but you also want to set it with a setting spray. It's very important, especially using powders. You don't want to go around looking powdery, and it helps to set everything into place, basically. So I'm going to use the Skin & Company Truffle Therapy Radiant Dew Setting Spray. Okay, I wasn't going to add the eye look on here, but I might as well. Okay, so the palette I'm going to be using is my Ace Beauty Slice of Paradise palette. Okay, so the color that I'm starting off with, that I already started with, is Persimmon. So I'm just patting that on right here. Okay, so the outer V, I'm gonna add the color Passion Fruit. Ooh. That color is so pretty. The yellow that I'm going to use in the same palette is Daffodil. And I'm going to use that with my Luxie 246 Precision Crease Brush. This is one of my new brushes I received in my BoxyCharm. Oh, I forgot this yellow has fallout, but I'm glad it's yellow. I can just brush it off. So I went ahead and did my under eye. So now for the liner, I want to use a yellow liner and I don't have it. So what I'm going to do is use my Mayron Paradise AQ palette. And I'm going to use this yellow in here. Let's see. I don't know what I want to do for the lips, y'all. I don't have an orange. Guess I'll just go neutral. So I'm going to use my Becca lipstick in Bear. Okay, so I just went with a neutral color for my lips. Just want the eyes to be popping. So what I'm going to do is apply my mascara and my lashes, and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back with the completed look. So what do you guys think of this summer look? So with the eyes, I was thinking more like lemon orange vibes or sunset. But anyway, just remember the tips I gave on keeping your makeup from melting in this summer heat, because it is hot outside, y'all, and I know you want your makeup to still look good without melting. So just those simple steps by you know, adding your primer and then the setting powder and then the foundation, then the setting powder again. Just those simple steps to help to ensure that your makeup will stay in place all day. And if you're at an event like a wedding or whatever, you're crying or whatever, always remember to dab and not wipe, because if you wipe, you're gonna wipe your makeup away. And if you're sweating, just dab. I recommend like rice paper, or you can get like a little sponge or something. Just keep a little sponge with you and just dab, and your makeup will stay in place and will stay flawless. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned to the next video. Be blessed, guys. Bye.